Hey y'all. It's Saturday morning. It's a gorgeous day. It's a little bit later than I wanted to get out. I got my coffee. Don't be deceived. It's my third cup of coffee. Yeah, so like I wanted to get out here earlier, but my morning chores took a little bit longer. So anyways, I'm dying to get out here because I planted some seeds like 5 days ago out here in the garden, and yesterday I spotted 3 little green bean sprouts, and I know that they're like fast to germinate, but I'm excited to see if anything else has come up, so come along. This bed has green beans now, and golly, okay, look, yay. Good morning, little green bean sprout. Hello. Hi, kitty, kitty. There's Mickey Mouse. Hi. We're not really Disney fans, so it's hilarious that we have a cat that we call Mickey Mouse. Here's a couple of green beans. Okay, so if I look more carefully, I can see these little sprouts that haven't even really come up. But here's a couple. Yay, I'm so excited. So excited for summer. Spring and summer. Okay, these onions, loving the rain, need some fertilizer. I want to show you guys something here. These are radishes I've let go to seed. Here's a couple of seed pods here after the flowers open and close. So I'm going to let a few more of these. Here's some more. I'm going to let these get a little bit bigger before I pull them out. Look how big the roots are. They're huge. Look at this cabbage, it's so pretty. I can't remember what variety cabbage this is. Some kind of Asian cabbage, so it grows up like this. They're super, super tasty. Check this out. This is a cabbage that we cut. Okay, so this is a cabbage that we had cut. We left the stalk in the ground, and that's something that we do to help build the soil. And what has happened is it's formed 1, 2, 3, 4 little mini cabbage heads on here to pick, which is super cool. Plants are so neat. So you can see these are like old dying leaves. We just break them off, leave them there. There's even another little tiny one trying to start there. So it's super cool. We'll pick these soon and be able to eat off of the same plant again. So you can see we just cut them off and we leave them like this. This is one that we just recently cut. But you can see all the new little leaves already starting to come out. And then eventually, here's another one that we had done the same thing with. So you can see there's a little head. I'm gonna set my coffee down. So you can see here's a little tiny head coming. Here's a little tiny head. 3, 4, 5. So that's really neat. Really neat. So we've got a couple that are like that. Here are the potato plants. You can see this row all the way down. Looks pretty decent. There's another row again. Looks pretty decent for just being planted. I've got to get this grass out though. That's this weekend's project. Look at this spaghetti squash. This was a whole squash that got left out here. And I said, hey, dump the bottom of that compost bag, a bag of like heavy wood chippy compost that I wasn't real happy with. So just go dump it on top of that spaghetti squash and leave it. So this was months ago and it has sprouted. So we're gonna let it do its thing and see which vines survive, and it'll sprawl out in every which way, every which direction, and we'll get some spaghetti squash. This is off of a squash that we grew and harvested at our last house. So the squash lasted about 18 months in the pantry, a long time. And when it started to go soft, I don't know why we didn't eat it. It kind of became a challenge of sorts. I don't know why we didn't ever eat that spaghetti squash. I think maybe we got squashed out. We had a bunch that we harvested that year. And Kitty's chasing something. I don't know what she's chasing, but this is why I've decided it's okay to let the kitty in the garden. It's probably just a lizard or a frog. She does chase insects too, and hopefully rodents. Our last house, we had a little bit of trouble with rodents getting in the garden one year. Okay, so on the agenda for the weekend for me in the garden is to weed out that grassy mess over there, get it covered with cardboard, and then I've got to get some more mulch ordered to be delivered next week so that I can finish mulching this half of the garden. The half that has mulch on it looks wonderful. There's a few places that I need to rake back the mulch and put down some more cardboard. We have something called dollar weed here, which is awful. I'll show it to you here in a minute. If any little bit of that dollar weed gets left in the ground, the plant reaches out so far from the roots and finds that tiny little crack of light between, and you know, the hole in the cardboard, and reaches up and flourishes there. And then to make matters worse, it sets new roots all along the way. So if you pull any part of the plant out, it still thrives, and it's a real pain. So I've got to do that in a few places. I'll show you that here in a minute. But for the meantime, check this stuff out. Okay, the sun is getting a little bright overhead, but this is not much of a garden tour as much as it is me looking for sprouted seeds. So I've got a couple of peppers I've planted in here, and an eggplant, and all those zinnias. So this is where my mulch stops. This is dollar weed. You can see it's named that because it is kind of like a silver dollar. These heads get big. You can pop them off like this and it makes no difference. It's gotten into my box here because I didn't have mulch here until recently. Look how far it reaches. So this is going to be a constant battle I have to fight this year with this dollar weed. What I need to do is dig this out, really dig for the plant, pull out as much of the vines and the roots as I can, and then put more cardboard in and mulch on top. Look, it's here. So this whole area was covered in it before we got the mulch down. Look at this. Raspberry shoot. I'm super stoked about raspberries. I so hope these take off. I honestly don't remember where I've sown seeds, so I'm just going to kind of walk around and check all the boxes. This is that tatsoi. I'm ready to pull this out. These seed pods are pretty fat, so I'll be drying that to sell. There's some more little zinnias. Some more little zinnias. Those babies are everywhere. Okay, so I know I put some squash in here. I don't see them. But this basil is happy. It's not been too cold for that. These are some volunteer cilantro. Once cilantro goes to seed, it is coriander. And those coriander seeds apparently dropped in here, and it's volunteered. I've got a few of them. Planted some cucumbers here, but I don't see them yet either. That's another cilantro. So I'm looking carefully. I don't see anything. I'm not sure if I planted anything here or not either. This is celery, and it got so much rain that it really just bleached out. So I just put some worm castings down before we had more rain, and it seems to be coming back. Look at these chives I tried to kill. I bought this plant. It's flowering too. It's getting little scapes. I haven't used it yet. There's some baby ones down here. It was nearly dead by the time I finally put it in the box. And so I'm glad to see it thriving now. Let's see. There may be seeds in here. This is lavender. So I'm going to pick the dried part. This is the green coming back. I'm going to pick this dried lavender. It went in the same time as the chives, and it was kind of sad when it went in too. but I'm gonna pick it and use it for some soap and some body oil kind of things. It's a pretty little eggplant. Okay, these carrots, this was a fun little video I did, a new way to plant carrots. And they're coming up. You have to look carefully for them, but let's see. The sun is not helping me out today, but here's some little baby carrots. They look pretty good. They seem to be spread out nicely. I think that this is a pumpkin. I'm not sure if it's it might be a sunflower actually. I don't know. It's either a sunflower or a pumpkin. I've got another one there. Oh, let's see. I've got another little one there in the shadow of that sunflower. These are older carrots. I can't remember if I put anything in here or not. Oh, I did, and they're coming up. Okay, so here is, it's gonna be a squash or a zucchini. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I must have just sprinkled seeds. Not sure if they would come up or not. Oh, you know what? I think these are cucumbers. These are pickling cucumbers. I don't know, we'll see. I better start working on where I'm gonna put trellises too. So I started this celery months ago in little 4-inch pots. I cluster seeded them, and then I put them in here probably 3 months ago, and they haven't really done anything. I didn't protect them from frost. I'm not sure if it's something that grows better in winter or summer here in Florida, but they did nothing. They just sat as like little tiny, just like they were when I took them out of the pots and put them in. They just stayed like that until about 2 weeks ago. They started to grow, and so I'm getting our first, what I hope will be successful, celery crop. Okay, so back to these blackberries. They're flowering like nobody's business. Aren't they beautiful flowers? I don't know if they have any kind of smell to them. I'm gonna smell them. So these look great. This side of the garden, the blackberries on this side, they got mulched a little bit last summer. I did put at least cardboard down, and those plants that had cardboard are coming back better. So this is about where the cardboard stopped, and then you can see this guy's having a harder time coming back. And on down the line, these blackberries, these are coming back okay. Oh, you know what else? I planted some sunflower seeds back here and put a light covering of mulch over them. I don't see anything yet. It won't be long though. So like this guy looks a little more spindly. This is where I was weeding last night before I needed to leave. More weeds here. And like we lost 1 or 2 plants in here to the weeds. So that's the project this weekend. Get this weeded, get some cardboard put down, get some compost put on these berry bushes, and hopefully that'll make a difference here. Last bits of broccoli coming. Oh, that's about to open. I need to pick that. We will have broccoli tonight. And then these rutabagas, I have no idea if these are too big to be any good or not, but I'm picking them this weekend. Look at this. So all these will come out. I'm ready to plant this bed. I'll show you some seedlings we have. All right, so these tomatoes made a comeback, and then they got a cold night last night. Not too cold, but they kind of started, they look like they tried to close up a little bit. You can see how much they've grown out of their soil pots, so they need soil for sure. I'm debating on just putting them in the garden. These got real narrow. It's like they closed up like this. I haven't really seen that so much before. These peppers are beautiful. I have a ton of shishito peppers in there. I love those. I love those so much. We could not get enough of them last year. So these look great. Okay, it's actually, that was Saturday morning I left you guys, and it's Monday afternoon now. So I had a busy weekend of weeding and doing some other stuff that I didn't anticipate doing. If you can hear the cows hollering in the background, it's because we let Dolly out. I'll show you that in a minute, to get to the green grass, and the other cows are just all freaked out about it. So they're jealous, or just warning, something's amiss, guys. Something's wrong, something's different. There's a cow out. I've got a few weeds in this bed already. And it's only been like 2 weeks since we had a frost. Anyway, I'm gonna plant some seeds, and I just kind of wanted to say a little something about planting. Still getting a lot of questions about how to plant this and what kind of soil does that like, and I just want to say, like, I'm happy to answer questions because I want to teach people how to grow food. But I have an okra here. It's an older okra from last season. It was a red okra. It dried green. I just left the whole pod dry to dry in the house. And then inside, I'm breaking it open so you can see these are okra seeds. So I'm planting some red okras. We really liked these last year. My friend started them for us so I could have okra after we moved last year. I'm gonna put a couple seeds, 2 or 3 seeds in each spot. If they all germinate, I'll thin them and move on from there. Let's see, they need quite a bit of space. Anyways, I just don't want you to get bogged down in the details of gardening if you're just starting out. I just spilled some of these and I can't see them because they're black. So who knows how many okras I'll have right here. Don't get consumed with all of those details. I always leave it with the last word is just plant. So just plant. Don't decide that you have to learn it perfectly before you can plant it. Just plant it. And if it's wrong, well then you learned something, right? But I bet you'll grow something. I also like to tell people to pick a handful of things to try. So right now, here where we are in Northeast Florida, we're planting the hot weather things. We're getting out of the brassicas. We're planting yellow squash, green zucchinis, sunflowers. Kales are still doing well. We have a few kales that'll do well in the heat too. Okra, zipper peas, tomatoes, of course. Sweet potatoes. We have potatoes in the ground. So say pick 4 things and learn about those. So green beans are super, super easy. I always tell people, try to start with some green beans. Kids especially, because those things grow super fast. They germinate super fast. And so it's kind of an instant gratification that you did something right. And that's exciting. And it keeps you going on to the next thing. Try to make one of those things something different that you can't necessarily find in the store. Because when you're pouring all of your energy into plain old green beans and it's kicking your butt, and you're fighting fungus and you're fighting bugs and you're fighting heat, and they make you itchy when you pick them, and then you go to the grocery store when they're in season and they're like, you know, I don't know, $1 a pound or something ridiculous like that, you're gonna feel defeated. So find something that you can't necessarily find in the grocery store and plant that too. So maybe like loofah or, you know, a cutting sunflower, that kind of thing. And so that way, that'll keep you going as well. So find a handful of things, learn about those things, and then as you learn more about them with each growing season, then add another thing or another 2 things. And before you know it, you've got a handful of things that you know that you can grow, and an exotic thing or two along the way to keep it fun. These are the green tops off of rutabagas that I just picked. We were trying out. Come here, Belle. Dolly's out in the yard. Come here, Belle. Come here, Belle. Well, she didn't see it. If I wave them around, she might see them. Cows don't see very well far away. Come here, girl. Come on, Belle. Here she comes. And I'm not sure Belle exactly hears very well. Look at this pretty girl. She's so pretty. She's one of our new beef mamas to keep. We don't know if she's bred or not. We haven't been able to get her tested yet. Belle, I'm over here, honey. Belle. Belle's the white-faced girl. She's pregnant. Oh, and this is her heifer, also pregnant. Okay, y'all fight over that. This is gonna be the last of the broccoli that I get this year. And I already cut the main stalk off of this, so these are side shoots. But not bad for side shoots, huh? My very first garden I planted was in the summer in Florida, and I planted broccoli. And broccoli is to be grown over the winter in Florida, and I didn't know that. I just saw broccoli starts at the nursery and bought them. That's it. But they did great. I lost Dolly. I gotta go find her. I hope she's not eating my fruit trees in the front yard. Alright, I had to go fetch Dolly. Let's see if she behaves coming back. She just ran from me when I called her. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's why I let you out. Guess I'm gonna have to stake her out if I want to let her out. We have a friend who grew peanuts last year, and she said they were the easiest crop she's ever grown. And we're in the South, and we love peanuts, boiled peanuts, all things peanuts. So I figured, why not? So she saved some back. So these are basically just raw peanuts left to dry, and I'm gonna crack them open to get the seeds out. I don't know anything about growing peanuts, but we'll give it a try. So it's just like what you would imagine. So that's one seed that should grow to be one plant. From what I could find, you want to plant them about 2 inches deep and about 8 inches apart. So looks like I'll have a whole row of peanuts. That's super exciting because I've never attempted peanuts. So this is my new thing this year, is peanuts. I'm gonna put them in my glove right here. All right, you hold on to that. As I was saying, don't try to do everything at once when you start gardening. Pick just a couple of things. Master those the best you can. I'm not saying you will master it. I have trouble with broccoli now, and like I said, that first garden, I grew stupid broccoli. I had no idea what I was doing. But pick something, learn everything you can about it, grow it, learn from your mistakes, and do that with just a couple of somethings. And then add another something next growing season. I'm always adding something. This year it's peanuts. Compost. Okay, so that's 68 peanut seeds, 3 rows down in this hill. I have still some left that I didn't get in. I did the 3 rows and have a handful left. So I'm just gonna hold them, keep them back for seed to maybe if some don't germinate, I can plug them in there, or I'll just hang on to them for next year. Okay, so here's that section that I've been weeding this weekend. I've got to get the dollar weed out of this bed real quick. Still, I say real quick, I've got to get rid of this dollar weed out of this bed and the onion bed still, and then keep working down the line and work on potatoes down there. But that's not going to happen today. I'm so excited that I didn't finish this up the other day, because today I found some volunteers. This is a zucchini, and we have some cucumbers and more zucchinis, and there's more zucchinis over here, so that's exciting. Okay, so I know I don't need any more, but I've got cherry tomato volunteers. So this is one little stretch that I didn't put cardboard underneath because I was out and I had both sides of this little path already mulched. And so I did the best I could, pulled up all the weeds, all the little, it wasn't much at all. And it was just pretty much sand, bare sand. So I pulled the few weeds that I found, which was a little bit of grass, and that was it. Put the mulch down, and that was like 4 days ago. And yesterday I found tomato starts. Tomato volunteers. These are cherry tomatoes, and anybody who knows me knows that I don't know how to leave tomato volunteers alone, so I will be potting these up and finding homes for them, either here or with friends, I don't know. But anyway, super exciting. So that's about it for now. Thanks for hanging with me. I'm gonna go clean up those bags that I just emptied of compost, and throw some water on that peanut bed that I just planted, and go get cleaned up and ready to go watch my kids' baseball game. So thanks for hanging with me, and like and subscribe for more. It helps the YouTube algorithm. If you like it, it'll come up in your news feed again and get us out there. So thank you. Until next time, bye.